Romans 8 chapter.
Yeah, that's 7. Romans chapter 7, verse 7.
Yeah.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Most High forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, Thou shalt not covet.
Right, thou shalt not covet. So lust is a strong desire, right? We're not to desire the things that our neighbor possesses. But that leads to what? Stealing, murder, false witness. It leads to a lot of things. So we're not to desire the things our neighbor has. Everybody understand that? We should not be jealous over one another, what we have. What you have, what I got. Most High bless you. I'm happy and thankful that the Most High has blessed you for what you have. And I pray that the Most High bless me with what I have. Right? But we have to not say, oh, that brother shouldn't have that. Or I said, yeah, brother speaking envious about other brothers. It's all based off of what? Covetousness. No, he shouldn't have that. He don't deserve that. Right? You never say that about another man. Okay? Or another sister. But the Most High giveth, he giveth. It's up to the Father what we have and what we don't have. Everybody work for their own thing, right? And how the Most High bless you, that's what you deserve. Okay? All right. Let's go back.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 22. These words the Most High spake unto all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tables of stone, and delivered them unto me. And it came to pass, when he heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that he came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders. And ye said, Behold, the Most High our power hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that the Most High hear the voice of the Most High our power anymore. Then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that have heard the voice of the living power, speaking out of the midst of the fire as we have, and lived? Go thou near, and hear all that the Most High our power shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Most High our power shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it.
Right. So they said, Moses, you go up to the Most High. You speak with him and then tell us what he said. But we don't want to talk to the Most High anymore. Because we feel that fire is going to consume us and kill us. You know?
Verse 28. And the Most High heard the voice of your words when ye spake unto me. And the Most High said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such an heart in them, that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Amen. But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Ye shall observe to do therefore as the Most High your power hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left.
Really?
Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Most High your power hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess.
Right. Yeah. Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Most High your power commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Most High thy power, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, that thou and thy son and thy son's son all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Most High power of thy fathers have promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Come on.
Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel. Read on.
Yahweh our power is one Lord.
There's one Lord. That's what we say, Shema Yasharala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. All right, that is called the Shema, which is spoken throughout all Israel. It's always a reminder to all Israel that our power is one. All right, there is only serve one God. Okay, so this is where it comes from. It comes right here, Deuteronomy 6:4. All right, so you hear that's what's called the Shema. If you hear anybody say, or do you say the Shema? That's the Shema. Shema means to hear. All right, read on.
And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Mm-hmm.
And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Right, so the conversation in your homes should be of the commandments. If somebody will speak of the commandments and that irritates you, you need to check your spirit, because you should be conversating about the commandments. You should be like, I know you said you want to watch TV with Israelite, they constantly going to be like, that's off. They're breaking the commandments right here. They dealing with that. That's just it's automatic with it, right? But we should be talking about the commandments. All right? We should be talking about righteousness. It should be in our lips, in our tongue, right? And showing, and not constantly showing our children and our families the difference of right and wrong, good and evil. Constantly comparing the two, so we are sharp to know good from evil.
Verse 8, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand,
right? And
they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Right, so when your hand go to do work, it should be doing righteous work. With like frontlets between your eyes, you should be focused. What does a frontlet do? It focuses the animal, like a horse. They put a frontlet in front of the horse to focus the horse to move forward. So the commandments should be your focus to move forward. Read on.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house.
And you should literally do this. You should write it in your house on the wall. Write the commandments on your wall. Get a picture, hang it up. The 10 commandments should be at your door. It should be at your posts. Right? You should have dietary laws in your kitchen. You should have laws all over your house. Hang them up so it's a constant reminder. Maybe there's verses that you particularly hold near to you and dear to you. Put them up where you wake up in the morning, so you look upon these verses, so you're constantly reminded. This is what helps you. It constantly reminds you to keep Yah's commandments, to move in that right spirit. All right, read on.
And on thy gates, and it shall be when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not.
Right.
And wells digged, which thou dig not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware, lest thou forget the Most High, which hath brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
Right, so when they go into the land of Canaan, what's going to be in there waiting on them? They're going to get what? It's going to be houses. They're going to be filled with good things. Right? If they ain't plant nothing, it's going to be like, you're going to come into the house and like, oh, this is nice. Right? But now it's yours. The Most High not going to just give us empty land. We come into the land, there's going to be things in the land. Nice things. Right? Things that we can be like, oh, this is cool. Right? This is mine now, I guess. Right? Because that's what he did for us in the land of Canaan. We came into our land and he gave us everything that they had. All their possessions became your possessions. You spoiled them. Okay? Because ultimately, only the Most High can do that. Now, somebody might say, well, the Most High advocates stealing. No. Because the Most High, all that belongs to him anyway. Everything that everybody has belongs to the Most High. He just merely taking it from one people and giving it to another. Come on. Right? Simple, right? You're not stealing anything. It's not of your own strength that you receive these things. It's of the strength of the Heavenly Father. Right? He said, listen, you want this, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give this to you. You can't give somebody something that you didn't possess in the first place. Okay? You have to have that possession and then give that possession to someone else. So the land of Canaan, before it was the land of Israel, it was called the land of Canaan. It belongs to the 12 tribes in Canaan. It was called Canaan. And the Most High gave that land to the Israelites. All right, read on.
Verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name.
Right.
Ye shall not go after other powers, of the powers of the people which are round about you. For the Most High thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Most High thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth.
Right.
Ye shall not tempt the Most High your power, as ye tempted him in Massah.
Right.
Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee.
Read.
And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Most High hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Most High our power hath commanded you?
Read.
Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Most High brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Most High showed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Most High our power, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness, if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, as he hath commanded us.
Right, so this is going to be our righteousness. So we are to teach our children the purpose of all these things. All right, so we constantly go over it year after year. We have the Passover. We go through the portions that our children know for sure why we do what we do, why we keep these commandments, because this is the healing of our nation. This is what the Most High prescribed our people to do, right? That they're not black, they're not Negroes. Because this society going to keep trying to teach them that they're black, that they're Negroes, that they're African American or Caribbean, all these things, Haitian, Jamaican, Trinidadian. We got to teach them that you're the Hebrew Israelite. If they don't hear it from you, they're not going to hear it. So you can't be tired of teaching it, because if they don't hear it from you, you're the only one they're going to hear it from. When they go to school, they're not going to hear it. When they're watching TV, they're not going to hear it. Okay? Not till they come home to their parents, whom you are, should they hear the word of the Most High, hear who they are, hear their heritage, keep beating in their head. It takes some time before they actually resonate in their spirit. Everybody understand that? Read on.
Chapter 7. When the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it,
right,
and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites,
right,
and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
right.
And the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee. Thou shalt smite them,
right,
and utterly destroy them.
Come on.
And thou shalt make no covenant with them,
Right,
nor show mercy unto them.
The Most High said, get rid of those people out the land. When you say shall smite them, it means what? Kill them. All right? Kill them. Get them out the land. Who stay back? Kill them. There should be none of them left. Read on.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
You shall do what?
Neither thou shalt make marriages with them.
We are not to make marriages with these other nations. All right? I know our people got a problem with that. All right? As soon as a brother get a little money, he gets himself a white woman. Right? And vice versa with our sisters. They get a little status in this world, right? They are Serena Williams all over the magazine cover. Okay? We're not to do that. We're to stick with our own. We are to preserve our nation by sticking to our own. Everybody understand that? That builds a nation's strength. Our children should be marrying each other's children. Everybody understand that? Our children should be marrying each other's children, huh? Right. You got daughters, I got sons. I got sons, you got daughters. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out. Let's get the paperwork on. All right? Let's sign them up. There's going to be some betrothals in Israel. All right? Let's sign them up. I'm ready to sign mine away. Let's go. Give me a pen. Give me a pen. All right? But raise them to keep Torah so that our children, the next generation, is stronger than we are. If they got to start over because they mingling amongst the nations, they making marriages with the nations that are not going to last, because when they wake up in this truth, how they going to keep this woman there? Right? It's going to be awkward, to be confusion. Our children go to school where they mix with all these other nations. Right? We all have sons and daughters. Okay? Well, those of us that are parents and parents to be, and a lot of young women here, maybe haven't had children yet. Right? You're going to have children. Right? You want to know that your child is marrying someone that what? Is of their nation, with their same belief, their same culture. Because that makes their marriage a lot more peaceful. All right? Hold on, give me Ezra 8 and 69. First Ezra 8 and 69.
Out of the Red Apocrypha, page 11, the book of First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes,
right,
the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people
right,
of the land,
come on,
nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites.
Let's see what happens if you don't put them away. Read.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters,
right,
and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
Read.
And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Come on.
And as soon as I've heard these things, I rent my clothes,
right,
and the holy garment, and pulled off the hair from off my head
Read.
and beard, and sat me down sad and very heavy.
Right, this was horrible to hear this. Right? They committed this iniquity. Why did they not put away these other nations, but except marry them? Most High does not want us to marry these other nations. Is that clear? You marry your own. I mean, this is Israel. We got 12 tribes. I mean, everything you can look for is amongst these 12 tribes. Why go out there and get yourself some Moabite, or some Ishmaelite, when you have all your tribes here? Okay? Marry within your nation. Okay? He said you rent his clothes and was sad. Is that on that? Finish that verse.
Verse 72. So all they that were then moved at the word of the Most High, power of Israel, assembled unto me,
right,
while I mourned for the iniquity.
Right.
But I sat still, full of heaviness, until the evening sacrifice.
Come on.
Then the rising up from the fast with my clothes and the holy garment rent, and bowing my knees and stretching forth my hands unto the Most High, I said, O Most High, I am confounded and ashamed before thy face. For our sins are multiplied above our heads, and our ignorances have reached up unto heaven.
Right.
For ever since the time of our fathers, we have been and are in great sin, even unto this day.
Right. Why are they in great sin? Because they were marrying the other nations. Right? And he's praying to the Most High, right, to take away this iniquity out of Israel. And to this day, this is what we do, man. As soon as we get $1 for broke, we run into these other nations. All right? We know.
And for our sins and our fathers, we, with our brethren and our kings and our priests, were given up unto the kings of the earth, to the sword and to captivity, and for a prey with shame unto this day.
Right.
And now, in some measure, hath mercy been showed unto us from thee, O Most High, that there should be left us a root and a name in the place of thy sanctuary.
Right. So that's what verse you added to?
78.
71?
78.
Oh, that's it on that. Right. It's up to 77. All right. So what? That we understand that this is a great sin in the sight of the Most High. He does not want us to intermingle and marry the other nations. All right. Read on. Let's go back to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right.
For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other powers. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
We're the same.
Above all people.
No, equal rights.
Above all people.
We can all just get along.
Above all people.
Hands across America.
Above all people.
The Most High said us to be above all people. Okay, we fighting for equal rights. We're not equal. We're above all people. Everybody understand that? Be who the Most High created you to be. All right, that shows obedience.
That are upon the face of the earth. The Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Come on.
For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Most High loved you, but because the Most High loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Most High brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Most High thy power, he is power, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. And repayeth them that hate him to their face.
To their what?
To their face.
I mean, that those that don't want to follow the Most High, Moses said, I'm going to repay you to your face.
To destroy them.
And to destroy them. Read.
He will not be slack to him that hateth him.
Right.
He will repay him to his face.
Read.
Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them.
Right, and that ends the portion for this Shabbat day. To the Most High, hallelujah. All right, a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding came out. Truly a lot of information in this portion of the Torah as we move closer to the tabernacle. I want to always remind you every week. I'm going to remind you, if you haven't already reserved your tent, your booth for the tabernacle. It's going to be held at Quiet Waters Park. It's going to be September 22nd to September 29th. Okay, we're going to be staying in the park all week. Right, all week, dwelling in booths as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. So it's going to be at Quiet Waters Park. All right, in Deerfield Beach. Okay, and we're going to be there all week. You can reserve your tent. Your tents are what? 25, is it? 25, 30, $30? Yeah, 35 for the weekend, 25 for the week, a night. Okay, reserve your tent if you not already did so. Because we'll be out there all week, praising the Most High, giving his glory, dwelling in tents as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. All right, it's all about keeping the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High. Blessed is high holy name. So that's September 22nd to the 29th. We also have coming up is the next summit, right? Which is August 9th to the 12th. August 9th to the 12th is going to be in Detroit, Michigan. So we brothers and sisters coming from all over the earth to Detroit, Michigan, August 9th to the 12th to meet in the Hebrew Summit. All right, we have brothers going there from here. If you wish to go, get in contact with myself or Priest Kahan or Shamsuan, and you get information on going out to the summit. Okay, on August the 9th to the 12th. The next new moon is the 11th. So we have another Sabbath before that, right? Yeah. So it's in 2 weeks, right? So new moon is September, I'm sorry, July, no? August. During the summer. Okay. August 11th is the next new moon. Okay. They're written down. August 11th. Tithes and offerings. They go in a box behind Brother Yakanan. All right, there's tithes and offerings. You put it in an envelope like this, you put your name on it, you put it in the box. All right, we appreciate all the donations that we receive. That's what keeps the lights on, it keeps us going. Okay, we're going to take some of those offerings and we're going to fix the address on the building. So